What's up, Cancers? This is your monthly horoscope for the month of March 2023. I'm going to be explaining what to look out for mainly, and we're going to be talking about which two houses are going to be mainly focused for you over this next coming month. We're going to talk about the new moon and the full moon of this month, and we're going to talk about all the important informations for you, because this month has three major shifts starting, and it's gonna be not only lasting like beginning a new chapter, but this is a new chapter for not only for the next the next few years, but a new chapter is beginning for the next 20 years for you. So stick around. We're going to be talking about all this stuff, getting into the details and explaining everything that's happening this month. This is a big month for everybody. In all my other videos, I've mentioned this, but let's get started. This is your video if you are a Cancer Sun, Cancer Rising, or if you fall for any other Cancer placements. But this will mainly make more sense if you are a Cancer Rising. So what's happening this month for Cancers, and why is this a big month? Okay, so let's get started. So the Sun will continue to travel through your ninth whole sign house of Pisces. It's been in here for the last month. Honestly, for the last few weeks. This is just focusing on, higher education, foreign things, religion, philosophies, truths, all that kind of stuff. And it'll continue to do that before shifting into your 10th whole sign house by the end of the month. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later in the video, but this will just be mainly about, your public life and your career. So okay, so the first thing I really want to talk about, the first thing that's actually happening is Mercury entering your ninth whole sign house of Pisces. And this shifts, the whole mindset, this shifts the whole energy of where you put your mind towards. And Mercury, Mercury is the planet of communication, our thinking process, how we verbalize, share ideas, and it has to do with the mind. It's entering the sign of its fall of Pisces. So this could feel a little challenging in the way you're expressing yourself or sharing knowledge or communicating with others. And this is entering the house of your ninth house, like I've just mentioned, to do with, traveling, higher education, foreign travels, foreign topics, religion, teaching, learning, all of this stuff. This could also be about maybe taking a college level course or any type of educational course, and you're gonna have to really kind of look at the bigger picture, because Pisces is about kind of like the bigger picture. It's a Jupiter ruled sign, and Mercury is usually about the details, the little little things that Mercury likes to focus on. But Mercury has to focus on being more idealistic, has to focus more on, speaking very creatively or artistically, so to say. So, like I said, this could be a good time to, start learning, some higher educational course that can maybe impact your life later on, like maybe a career goal that you're trying to, work towards. But this is just the main aspect of main theme, I should say, of what Mercury in Pisces in your ninth house will be over the next few weeks. So the next thing I believe is this full moon happening in your the full moon in Virgo happening in your third whole sign house. A full moon is a culmination, it's a completion, things are coming to fruition. It's opposing the sun over here in Pisces. So the moon in Virgo, the moon in Virgo is all about, getting down to, taking care of what's necessary, taking care of the details, maybe cleaning a lot more. You can be a lot more practical in the way you're feeling, worried about the little details, being nitpicky sometimes, so to say. This full moon happening in your third house is culminating more awareness around when it comes to, social interactions, communicating with other people, maybe taking short trips or just spending time in your local neighborhood. This could be a great time to just let things go. If you're if there's been any kind of issue of what you've been maybe trying to learn over here, because there's a ninth house stellium being activated right now. I'm going to talk about Saturn entering Pisces in just a sec, but just look at this like this ninth house area of life. This is just focusing on like expanding your horizons, so to say, and the moon is just reflecting all of this energy that's happening, but it's like coming down to earth. It's coming down to like the your local environment of like what you can do to focus on these little details that can help you expand these possibilities, your visions, your dreams, or whatever. So that's really exciting to talk about, actually. So okay, let's get to Saturn then. That's the next thing. Saturn will be entering your ninth house of Pisces. This is one of the big shifts happening for this month, actually. Saturn will be here for the next few years. Saturn takes call it 2.5 to 3 years to transit a sign, and Saturn's about reality, responsibilities, authority. It's about long-term energy and long-term goals, what you set for yourself. It's about planning as well, but it's about test and like mainly Saturn tests our abilities to wherever house it's in. So Saturn coming into your ninth house, this is just going to test your abilities around learning, these higher educational, topics, learning about foreign lands, learning about what else, like religion, if you're into that, or politics, or learning new principles. And Saturn's going to be here for the next few years, so this is what you're going to be working towards. Like I said, kind of with Mercury, like kind of like learning little details or taking courses for like a long-term career goal. This is kind of like having Saturn here is kind of like setting those like building blocks or step-by-step processes to build or construct something that can be real for you. So that's what I'm getting for that. And this is going to be a few years. Like, this is not going to be like a very quick transit. Saturn wants you to get down and do the hard work. So that it could be challenging, it could be exciting. It is in a water sign, so it could be a little better, easily flowed, but it is Saturn, so there is a lot of challenges dealing with it. So okay, let's move on. The next thing happening is Venus entering your 11th house. So let's get to that. Okay, so Venus enters Taurus in your 11th house. So Venus rules Taurus. Venus likes to be here. This is her home sign, one of her home signs. And Venus being entering the 11th house, this is gonna attract more people in your community. It's gonna attract more, let's say, you could say money, because Venus rules money. This could actually have you building, not really building, but just working towards a collective, earned goal, like a collective goal, a community goal, because 11th house is really focused on communities, but it's focused on large groups and working with large groups. So it's kind of taking care of your community and all that stuff. So, I mean, Venus here, it will eventually go on the North Node and pass over Uranus. So there could be a lot of let's say, I wouldn't say, well, I could say instability, but just a lot of amplifying these topics a little bit more and what you want, because Venus is also about desires. It's about wanting stuff, receiving stuff. So you could actually possibly receive a lot of social resources or more social financial goals to help either your alliances, your community, all that stuff. That's what I could say here. The next thing I believe is Mercury entering your 10th house. Yes. So Mercury is entering your 10th house of Aries. Mercury is getting out of its fall, the sign of its fall. It's entering a new sign. Mercury in Aries is very sharp. It's very quick. It's very to the point. But Mercury entering your 10th house is shifting your mindset towards 10th house themes, which is career goals, achievements, learning new skills. Like I said, it maybe over this month you'll continue to learn these like topics to deal with like philosophy and all that stuff. And then now, as Mercury gets in your 10th house, this is like the time to actually put in the work and put in the effort of what you've learned into, you know, a career that's more suitable for you. And it's in Aries. It's like, you know, about being, you know, being very active or energetic or adventurous. So you can deal with like career stuff like that. Like if you're dealing like, I don't know, like sports or something to do, something to initiate, you know, more career goals or skills into. So something like that. I hope that makes sense. And then the sun will enter your 10th house, as well as having a new moon occurring in your 10th house. So the sun is shifting its all energy, and this is entering a new sign. It's entering Aries. The sun is exalted in Aries. This is going to bring more, you know, vital energy towards your career life, your public life, what you're known for. It's gonna have you put more energy into your, you know, into responsibilities, into creating more, like a better solid structure for yourself, or for your, you know, for your work-home balance life or whatever, something like that. And having this new moon here is just refreshing these energies. You know, this is starting new. This is the spring equinox, so this is like initiating or birthing something new. So if there's anything you've been wanting to do in your public life, your career, maybe this will be the time to initiate something new. Okay. Let's see what else. I think the next thing will be, Pluto shifting into your 8th house of Aquarius. This is another shift that's happening, another huge milestone that's occurring, or I should say beginning. Because Pluto will eventually retrograde back into Capricorn and then, you know, move back into Aquarius and kind of just do this back and forth thing over the next couple of years. But Pluto, what is Pluto? Pluto is about transformation. It's about power. It's about obsessions. It's about the darker sides of life. It could also represent corporations and governments and things that we don't see. And it's moving into the house of, you know, the hidden side of your partner's, a partner's resources. This can be about shared resources. This could be about shared finances. This could be about the occult, like occult subjects, taboo subjects, all that stuff. Things that aren't normally said. But yeah, this is gonna transform the way you deal with either, you know, connecting with your partner and like merging finances together. This could be about refinancing either a car, a new car, and a job contract, or just or becoming more intimate with a partner or people that you're connected with or that you share. Let's just say that you subscribe to, because it's a money house. It is also about taxes. It's about death. It's about rebirth. It's about taking care of like any debts that you owe. So you're going to be seeing all these themes over the next 20 years. So this is a long transit, but this is slowly beginning now. So just be mindful of what's happening with, you know, if you have a partner, like with their money and what their kind of, what you're connecting to, or how you can support them more. Becoming more deeply, you know, connected to your partner in a way, like bring more intimacy. But there's going to be a rebirth of like these shared resources coming up for you over the next 20 years. So let's see, what else can I say? It's going to be about inheritance, like inheriting more money from other people. Maybe you'll have a loved one pass away and you will get more money over this time. That's just a possibility. You can learn more about psychology. That's a big one. That's another thing. Especially Pluto, like having Pluto, that's all about psychology. You know, this is like the subconscious level, and you can become more deeply like connected on a subconscious or psychological level with your partner, with anybody that you have any trades or loans with. Something to say, like that's huge. So the next thing is happening is Mars. This is the last like huge shift that's happening this month. Mars is entering your first house of Cancer. Mars has been in your, Mars has been in your 12th house. I can't speak it out. I can spit it out. Mars has been in your 12th house for the past like 7 or 8 months. You know, it is all retrograde thing. It's kind of been in this like little backdrop, you know, behind the scenes, kind of maybe rattling around in the back of your mind. Maybe you've been dealing with a lot of subconscious like issues, but that's all done now. Mars is entering a new territory. It's entering a new sign. It's entering your first house. This is going to bring more energy to your personality or your approach to life, or just how you impress others. Like, this is about first impressions. So people could people could view you as being more, you know, very emotionally charged. This could be a little bit passive aggressive. Mars is in its fall in the sign of Cancer, so this could feel a little challenging, but it will start moving faster. You know, it'll get through this house and sign, so there's not really a big deal. But yes, look out for a passive aggressive energy. Maybe you'll be cutting certain aspects of your personality out by around this time. Or let's see. Yeah, I mean, give you a lot more. It could make you emotional. Like I said, it could bring more emotion. It could bring more desires in what you want to like look like, what you want to appear to others. That's something else I could say. But yeah, this is just like really putting more energy into your personality. That's kind of the gist of it. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for you Cancers over this next coming month. If you want more information, look at the description below. There's a lot more information if you want to, have more of these horoscopes. I will put my link to my Patreon page down there too, because that's where I do most of my work. So, but yeah, this is the end of the video. I will see you in the next video. Take it easy.